everyone. Welcome back to another episode of That Company Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase amazing folks doing amazing things for agencies and more. I am Michael Knorr, your host. And on today's episode, we have Seth Greene, CEO of Market Domination, LLC. Welcome to the show, Seth.
Thank you so much, Mike. It is an honor to be here. I am a loyal partner, white label partner of that company, and can't wait to share the other way.
Absolutely. So let's just go ahead and just jump straight into it. Tell us what you do and how do you help agencies achieve their best?
Sure. So we recruit you a cult of 50 evangelists who will promote your agency and your brand every single week for a year. So everyone watching this is a partner of yours, and they're helping grow their own agency and using that company white label services as part of their offering. So what if we could bolt this on and literally for agencies, we help them get their next 50 affiliates, their next 50 clients, their next 50 referral partners, all in one shot. So it takes 30 minutes a week. That's the time commitment. And then every single week for the next 50 weeks, you will have a new relationship that we will build for you. You literally don't have to do any of the work. And then that either person will be teed up to become a client of yours if you're looking for clients, if you're looking for referral partners, other business owners who serve your ideal clients, whether that's a business attorney or an accountant or somebody like that, or a payroll provider or somebody like that. You can have 50 of those. You can mix and match. You can use it to get client testimonials. It's an amazing multi-purpose way to stop worrying about growing your agency yourself and get others to do it for you.
So, and I've actually seen some of your advertising, by the way, and it's so interesting and unique because it's like build a cult. I actually teach on this whole concept of the COI model, centers of influence, building up people who are going to refer to you over and over and over again, because that's how you build a sustainable business, right? It's not just one client, it's people that are going to continuously feed you. So what led you to the cult branding? That's super interesting.
Sure. So I've been in business about 22 years. The agency's been around for 14. It's a spinoff of a college financial aid planning firm that helps parents cut the cost of college by $19,077 a year. And I started to get into the world, growing that business. I eventually started learning internet marketing, and it worked so well, it spun off a separate marketing company that now helps other agency owners and financial advisors do the same thing I did. The cult branding came about because in the early days of internet marketing, I was watching the gurus all promote each other, right? So you would get 10 emails a day if you were on the list, and Frank Kern would email you, and then Mike Filsaime would interview you, and then Russell Brunson would email you, and they'd all be like, no, don't buy the product from that guy, buy it from me, I got a better bonus. And everybody was competing, and I came up with this concept. I'm like, these guys have a cult. I just pictured it. They're all sitting around in some hotel room, conference room, with the 20 of them going, hey, we're going to promote Mike this month, and we're going to do butterfly marketing, and next month we're going to promote Frank Kern, and then next month we're going to promote Jeff Walker. And they were sitting there plotting and scheming how to make their millions and millions of dollars. And I said, man, I would love to be in that room, right? One of those guys mails for you, you're golden. I said, I wish I had they got their own little cult. And I said, I wish I had a cult of people who had my ideal clients as their tribe, as their email list, as their client base, who would promote for me. And I started thinking, man, how could I get that to work for me? And my original core business is a financial aid planner. I still own that company, by the way. And what I figured out was our core referral sources were two: other financial advisors who don't do college aid negotiation, which is 99.9% of them, and high school guidance counselors, because they see hundreds of families at a time. So I literally built a cult. We have 72 financial advisors who send us their clients every single week. We have 16,000 high school counselors. We will do at least one webinar a week where they will do all the promotion, fill my virtual room for no cost, and we do a presentation for 80 high school families and get a whole bunch of clients at once. And that concept got put on steroids because I read the late great Chet Holmes's book, Ultimate Sales Machine. Chet, in one chapter, talked about a concept called the Dream 100, where he made a list of the top 162 advertisers he wanted for the magazine company he worked for. Back in the day, he had direct mail in the phone, no internet, and he sent a snail mail letter and made a phone call every single month. And it took him 18 months, but he ended up landing 24 of those advertisers and doubling sales to become the #1 advertising revenue-based magazine in his industry. And then Warren Buffett called because he owned the company and said, "Is this legal?" And I took Chet Holmes's concept into the 21st century because we have a lot more than email and phone now. So let's build that. We call it Dream 50 because it's one a week for 50 weeks, whether it's a list of clients an agency wants or a list of referral partners or influencers in their marketplace. Let's build that list and let's go after them, but let's add value first. It took Chet a year and a half because he went straight for the sale. I said, let's add some value. Let's add an audio podcast. Let's add a video podcast. Let's add a blog. Let's add social media content. Let's add a book. Let's add all these value bombs that we are delivering to that potential client or referral source so that before they've even gone through them all, they're literally calling you, the agency owner, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. What can I do for you?" Right? You follow Cialdini. We build up so much reciprocity and so much goodwill, their mind can't take it. And they literally go, "Can I do something for you?" And, "Oh, we just happen to have this ebook, white paper, webinar, whatever that you could share with your audience." They've already shared the audio show, the video show, the social media content, and everything else. It's consistency. They've done it 4 or 5 times. All they have to do is hit cut and paste one more time. And I've got a webinar with 80 ideal prospects on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how many customers have you worked with to build their cult? What's that look like?
We are currently producing 65 of these a week right now, but over the years since we invented the service, it's been hundreds and hundreds of them.
Awesome.
Because it's a lot of manual labor. Like, this isn't a course where you go pay $19.97 and figure out how to do it yourself. We tried that. No one did it. Every single person came back and said, "This is way too much work. It's cool, but I can't do it myself." Right. So we launched a done for you model 7 years ago. And it took off because when we did all of the work and all the agency owner had to do was show up once a week for 30 minutes on a Zoom interview and read the questions we wrote for them and then follow the script we wrote for their second call where they got to sell, all of a sudden it took off because everybody can do that.
I love it. So if you had to guess what your company looks like in about 5 years from now, tell me the vision for the company. Where are you going? Where do you think this is going for folks? How big is this? You know, I mean, I think this is a timeless concept. I don't think that this is going to change. Technology isn't going to change this. But yeah, what's that look like? Do you have that vision?
Yes. So it is timeless. We've iterated and innovated every year for 7 years. So when we started, we had the podcast, but we didn't have video. We didn't have some of the syndication, some of the social media outlets. We didn't have everything. It gets better like every couple months. We come up with a new add-on to make it even better. For example, there are now tons of podcast guest networks to make it easier to find your ideal client who wants to be on shows. We have now found software apps to make the process even easier. So again, we're always adding more forms of media to reach out because we have a great group of clients that we can test things on all the time. Anytime I put out a message and say, "Hey, we got a new idea to make this even better. Who wants to test it?" Like, everybody's hand goes up because they're like, if they test it, it's free. Once we prove it works, we're going to charge them for it.
Nice.
So what do we right now? We've got about 44 employees here. I've been very blessed to build an awesome team over the years. I think we will probably, in the next 5 years, triple at least in size. I mean, we're growing super fast every single year because it's a self-perpetuating viral loop. So this is another great way agencies make money. So for example, when you do 50 podcasts as an agency owner, some of those people are going to have such a great experience, they're going to ask you how they did it. And you're going to say, "I didn't. Go see these guys over here," and they're going to hire us, and your agency owner is going to get a commission on top of everything else from us every single month.
Absolutely. So
we literally get people, it's self-perpetuating viral loop. We get people every single week who email our show hosts and go, how do I get one of those? I love the follow-up. I love the process. I totally see how that could work in my business. What do I need to do? And they just send them our way and they get paid for it.
Your own customers are becoming your own cult. It just keeps getting bigger. That's awesome.
Exactly. It's self-perpetuating.
I love it. So do me a favor. Can you share what your price ranges look like? So for people that are interested in learning more?
Yes, the done for you version, where we literally do everything except the interview and the second call that you close on, whether it's closing for referrals or closing for business, it's about $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of manual labor for us.
And you told me that there's an even bigger program, which we can cover at another time, right? And what's
there
that
is. We have our $1 million agency program where we will guarantee them $1 million in new revenue inside of 12 months. But it would take too long to go through that in this interview. We need a separate call for that one.
Absolutely. I look forward to covering that another time, though. So guys, if you're watching this, make sure you stay tuned for other future show updates so you can see that. So if anybody, we'll wrap up. I think we've covered everything we need to cover, but if anybody else wants to reach out to you to learn more about your services, what's the best way to reach you?
I'll tell you, email is seth@marketdominationprogram.com, and make sure you put that company in the subject line so we know where you're coming from. Or you can text me. That's the fastest way to get me. Again, tell me where you're coming from. My cell phone is 716-908-3164. Just please be respectful. I'm on the East Coast and I have 3 little kids. So don't text me after like 9 o'clock at night Eastern Standard Time, because I don't want to accidentally wake them up and have my wife be mad at me.
Fair enough. Well, Seth, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.